Shortcut for the Soul. It is Wednesday, January the 26th, 2022. And it's a beautiful, brand new day on this planet. I hope you see life that way, that you wake up in the morning. Do you wake up in the morning? What do you think? When you wake up in the morning, what do you think? What are the first thoughts that come to your mind when you open your eyes in the morning? Leave your first thoughts in the morning in the comment section below this video. It's an amazing time to be alive on this planet. There are so many things that go on that seem contradictory. And Master Jesus was talking with me about the concept of the world as a device for healing, something that we can use to reflect back onto ourselves. And we're going to wait a few minutes for people to come on. There we go. Love the weather. I love the weather we're having. So if you stick around to the program, I have a couple of announcements to make about what's coming up. What's coming up, folks? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Yeah, the world is a device for healing. So as I said earlier, leave a message in the comments about what your first thoughts are when you open your eyes in the morning. What are the first thoughts that you let your mind greet you with? In understanding what you are and what you're here to learn as a being, as a consciousness, as a soul, as a divine entity, there's a distinction that you need to learn to make between your body, your mind, your emotions, and the world around you. There are different elements that you utilize in the process of developing yourself, to restore yourself, to return to a state of being that is your natural state of being, undivided, unconflicted, and recognizing that the only offering that you would have for this world is love. That from the perspective of wholeness, from the perspective of your completeness, you would have nothing but love to offer this world. That is all. You would offer nothing but love to this world if you understood the nature of who you are as an undivided consciousness. That is, your mind, your body, your emotions, and your actions all fall into clear alignment from a perspective of consciousness that does not see any aspect of itself as separate from itself, any more than you could view your arm or your leg as separate from you. You would not view yourself as separate from the very source that gives rise to your ability to perceive your own existence. In the beginning, when you were whole and complete, when you had no divisions between what you are, the world around you, what you could conceive or perceive about the world around you, and when those divisions were not there, you were completely whole and perfect. You were an extension of source love. You smiled every day upon the world that you were part of because you were part of it, not separate from it. As long as there is a perception of separation between yourself and anything around you, there will be a sense of unfulfillment, a sense of disharmony, a sense of discontentment. The mechanisms of thought, the workings of body, the beautiful dance of life around you are all instruments that come from the very same source that all things do. All things come from this one source. And it pronounced all things good. It is only you that have decided that some things are good and some things are not good. And in that judgment, you maintain separation from all that is good. You do not see it as something that works with you and for you. When we started this morning off with this comment, what are your first thoughts in the morning? Your thoughts are devices that can inspire, unite, and uplift you to the truth, or they can separate you from it, or at least give you the illusion that you are separated from the truth. And precisely what is the truth? The truth is that there is only one consciousness operating in a complete unity of itself, from which you, as a perceptive awareness, have chosen to remain separate and distinct from. Very few of you turn inward to consider the life that is beating your heart right now, and that you are intimately connected to its rhythms of everlasting expressions of life, goodness, kindness, peace, and compassion. From the perspective of limiting yourself and defining yourself only in terms of your body, you will suffer according to the interaction of the body with other bodies, other substances, other relatively different elements of experience. And you will judge one thing as good and one thing as bad, one thing as pleasurable, one thing as not pleasurable. From the perspective of your awareness, recognizing that there is simply a device that you are using to cultivate an awareness of non-separateness, may be difficult for some of you to grasp, as you are so intensely focused on this concept that you are somehow separate one from another. And this makes it very difficult to formulate ideas and expressions in thought and action that would provide greater harmony and unity between yourself and the world around you. As long as you perceive that there is something separate from you that can harm you, then you will remain in suffering. For the purpose of today's discussion, all of the elements at your disposal in this moment, every thought, every emotion, every memory, every event in time and space that's occurring around you, is there to help you to return to a place of complete and joyful happiness. Complete and joyful happiness. Anything that does not fall into alignment with the nature of what you are will give you conflict. If you were given thoughts as a child that told you to believe certain things that were not true about an everlasting possibility of life and love and joy, then you will be separate from it to that degree. There is not one thing in your world, there's not one thing in your life that does not serve the purpose of returning you back to that estate of being whole and complete and beautiful as you are even now. Even as you are now, you are whole and complete and beautiful. He says it's really important to restore yourself to what you are as a vibrational frequency of love, not simply the word love and the many interpretations that you have fashioned for it, but the very nature of the vibration of love, not as something that exists separate or independent of you outside of your perception, but which you are actually in nature a being of love. To bring yourself to this awareness, all things occur around you to increase your awareness of discomfort so that you will move away from it. Suffering is not a means of punishment from the Creator that made you. Suffering is a means of restoration to the Creator that made you. Any thought or action that would cause you or others pain is an act of separation, and also simultaneously a device for learning, a mechanism from which you can recognize this thought, this action causes me or others pain, which creates separation. Then what thought and what action would you do to restore love? What thought and what action would you utilize to restore love? For this is the whole function of this world. and all that it contains, all that you perceive, its entire function is to restore you to what you are not separate from, which is love. So the divisions and the noise and all the things that you see on this planet today are simply your opportunity to restore yourself. The relationship that you have with the one source that beats your heart is unique to you. It cannot be found nor actualized in the world or by the world, but through it, through an awareness of that light in you, that love that is you, that spark within your being that you can feel, that many of you know is not in your thoughts, that many of you know you will not find in this world. It seems to be an endless pursuit for so many of you, trying to find love and joy in this world. Quite a difficult, never-ending task for so many of you, trying to find it in the world. And yet it exists all around you, but you cannot perceive it because you do not see it within yourself. For only that which you see in yourself shall you see in the world. And you may restore yourself to love. You may restore yourself to that source that beats your heart. And not simply the beating of your heart, that is simply the emanation, the whisper to your ear for you to hear, to go inward, to turn inwardly, very gently turn inwardly, away from the thoughts fashioned by your senses, away from the thoughts and memories fashioned by your experiences, to turn yourself away from the world, to turn inward to that place beyond thought, to turn to that place beyond memory, to return to that place where you are at rest eternally as one with that source that is the source of all things. You may choose to label this source in any fashion you might choose. I elect today to not offer you my terminology for what that source is. For when you can silence your thoughts and you can quiet the body and you can be in that place of stillness, there is no disturbance there. In that place of no disturbance, there is a vibrational perception of being that you may attain. The idea that you must use your mind and its confusion, that you must use your mind and its confusion to move away from confusion, can sometimes be uncomprehendable to some of you, that you have to actually be confused to get rid of your confusion, that you have to be fearful to get rid of your fear, that you have to be angry to get rid of your anger, that you have to recognize the distinction in the difference of your being, one state or another, one consciousness or another. To surrender your anger when you are aware you are angry, to surrender your fear when you are aware you are fear, to surrender your sadness when you are aware you are sad, to surrender that which does not fall in alignment with the wholeness of your being, the unity of perception between yourself and the very source that you are so desperately seeking to find fulfillment with in this world. Is it not true that so many of you are not trying to find fulfillment in this world? So many of you rushing around trying to find something in this world that will make you think and feel and believe that you are whole and complete and fulfilled. What you are as a being is already established as whole and complete in the very eye, heart, and hand that fashioned you into existence in the first place. That causal consciousness, that place of awareness, of being, where you can look out on the landscape of the creation and recognize, you can look out on the landscape of creation and recognize it is a creation, and that you may participate in it from two perspectives and two perspectives only, love or fear. There are no other expressions of your being that you can indulge in. The expressions of fear are many in shade, but they still all have the same result in that you feel separate. You feel suffering. The sacrifice of your suffering is the restoration of yourself to love. That is to be willing to release the thoughts of fear from your consciousness, to release your anger, to release your depression, to make the distinction that that is not your nature. Your nature is love. You are fashioned by love's hand and love's heart, love's mind and love's eye. You were fashioned in love. This is your true nature. And yet, in your perspective of awareness, of believing that certain thoughts or ideas are true, you will find yourself lost and separate from the very thing that you actually are. You have the opportunity now, more than ever, to recognize that that which is fear does not represent your true nature of being, that that which is anger does not represent the true nature of your being, that that which functions as a mechanism for increasing your fear, or those things that you would indulge in that would cause your body to suffer, they do not come from love. And it is your discernment, your conscious and deliberate discernment, that will liberate you from separation, to recognize that some things honor the temple, some things honor your thoughts, some things honor the way in which you experience the world, and there are things that do it dishonor, that separate you. That which would cause you harm in thought, in action, in what you place into your beautiful body. These things can cause your body, cause your mind to be closer to or further from love's expression through you as you. And yet all of these things that you suffer from, are there to assist you to surrender your suffering, to, let me use the term, to hang your suffering upon a cross and restore yourself to that which you are. The old self, the belief that you are here to suffer, is an illusion of suffering. The minute you surrender thoughts, ideas, actions that incline you to believe that suffering is more real than love, then you've been given a great gift, and this world loans itself to the opportunity to see it through one of two eyes, the eye of love or the eye of fear. This is your choice, your opportunity for freedom. That all that goes on around you that would stimulate separateness is the opportunity for greater unity with yourself and that which is the life within you. The statement of crucifixion was to surrender the idea of separation from oneself to that which you are already united with, to surrender a self that believes it is somehow separate from the very source of life that emanates through you as itself. To crucify, to put aside, to let go of, to differentiate yourself from suffering as awareness is to begin the process of restoring yourself to the love of that which made you and the love that is you. There are things that you can do very simply to begin, to watch your mind, the place of thoughts, wherein ideas and information have been given to you, both true and false. And it is time to begin to sort the wheat from the chaff, love being the wheat and fear being the chaff, to take the time to sort through that you recognize this thought, this memory, this emotion is not of love. I will surrender it and I will replace it. I will restore it to love. To peel away the layers and thoughts of fear, to peel away the layers of thoughts of fear, is to restore yourself to its opposite, which is love. And all of this world will loan itself at any time to the opportunity to do so. The world loans itself repeatedly the opportunity to you to restore yourself to love. Those that would treat you badly, that would incline you to feel bad, again, offer you the opportunity to restore yourself to love. but you do not need to participate in that which is unloving in order to feel an end to your separation, that you should join a certain faction or a certain group in order to feel less separate from the very source that you are completely united with, is just simply a distraction. To be in union and harmony with those who align themselves to the expressions, thoughts, and actions of love, which honors life in all of its forms. To these people go, to these people join, for their light is aligned to that light, and they see darkness no more. Please understand, those that have learned to surrender fear have returned to the house of love, to surrender your fear. And only you can make this choice. And you are repeatedly being called to return home. You are repeatedly being called to return home. When you are, let me use the term, seduced into believing certain things in this world will give you more than the creator of life is giving you now, if you are seduced into things that would cause you to suffer or to be lost in simply the excitations of the body, to be lost exclusively in the excitations of the body, will keep you separate from the very thing which fashioned the body. The body is not something that is you. It is something that you have been given to utilize to express the light and the love that is you. Remove the impressions of doubt and uncertainty from your mind, and you will begin to restore yourself to that which is already evident as love. If you paid no heed to the thoughts that cause you to suffer, if you paid no heed to the words and actions of men that would try to cause you to suffer, you will begin to restore yourself to love. You will begin that process. Wow, thank you. Good morning. Hi, Daniela. We are given so many opportunities now to remember our unity with the Creator, with love, with joy. It has to be a conscious choice. We really have to choose it consciously. You can't escape responsibility. Your mind is not who you are. Your thoughts are not who you are. Yeah, literally. Sacrificing the old self to the new. Sorry, he's just saying to me that literally when you start to take authority, over your thoughts, and you start to organize one thought from another, when you start to realize, wait a minute, this thought does not cause me to feel or experience or express love, then you release it, liberate yourself from it. Make a decision, that thought does not serve me. That thought does not serve me. That does not serve me. Learn to sacrifice all of your fearful thoughts, literally on the altar of your consciousness, right? Your awareness is the only mechanism that you have to make a discernment between what is good and what is not good, what is closer to love, what is further to love, only from the perspective of being aware of your thoughts, only from the perspective of being aware of how your body feels when you put certain foods in it or when you do certain things with it. By becoming aware, you can then sacrifice the old self, the fear, the anger, the guilt, the shame, the things you do to your body that do not represent the expressions of love. And believe me, there's a lot that all of us have to do that. If you're still in the body, you're still learning. You're still learning. Good morning. Hi, Anthony. Hope you guys are having a great week. We have such a question from Adam. Can I ask any of my guides and specify which ones have a message for me? What do they want me to know? I don't know who this is, but I feel this is the energy of Master Buddha. Like, the process of meditation is very important to be in silence, to be in silence. Yes, and like he's sitting in a lotus position, indicating to emulate his energy of posturing, but more importantly, to emulate the quietness of mind. In there, you can hear all answers to your questions in the silence of your mind. So many of you seek to find the answers to your questions in this world, and you will find questions in this world answered that are of this world, but they will not necessarily give you an understanding of the mystery that is not a mystery, of the truth that often appears as a lie. The truth of who you are appears to your mind as a lie. Cool. Interesting. Thank you, Adam. Yeah. Also, while you're here, if you have a question, write a question. If you see a question, answer a question. Share your wisdom, share your knowledge with others as well. Question from Ruth. What could she do from grieving the loss of my artwork and use it as inspiration? I don't know who this is, but they've got very gentle, small body, very small, and they stand on the top of a flower. And the statement they're saying is to have no remorse for what is lost is to be found. Do not use what you remember for what you can be, to re-articulate what you are, not who you were. Do not use the old to make the new. Come among the fields and the flowers. Come among the fields and the flowers. Laugh with us, and let your laughter be the guide of your artistic hand, of the love that you came here to offer. The old is finished. The new is giving birth to itself. Cool. I'm not sure how you interpret that, but that's beautiful. The idea that the art that was lost is not lost. It is something new to be found. I like that. But this being, they're sitting on it's a pinkish flower. I almost want to say it's like a pink daffodil, but they're really like beckoning you to go to among fields and flowers. That's the words they're saying, fields and flowers, and let that inspire you, not what was. Master Jesus is saying, let the dead bury the dead. What is done is done. Let the new life begin. Wow. Thank you so much. Great question, Ruth. Question from Jenny. Oh, that's not for me. That's somebody else. Question from Daniela. Mattia chose scientific studies. Struggles, math, physics, chemistry. Failed last year. Changed schools. Considers to drop out this summer. What message have you? All these things without love are dead. All of these things that you would pursue without love are dead. They have no life, no joy. But do not abandon love. Do not abandon love's expression. If you are in love's expression, then all of these things will be fulfilled. The struggle that you have is not one of whether you are failing or succeeding in something. It is simply restoring yourself to love and letting your love direct your actions in learning. For what you shall learn from love's ear and what you shall see from love's eye will give you an understanding that will assist you to surpass the limits of man in your creative expression. Return yourself to love in all things that you would do and be. Return yourself to love. Wow. Thank you. Great question, Daniel. Thank you so much for that. Question from Vertical Connection. My friend Jennifer would like to know what causes the strong pain in her fractured wrist and causes the immobility in her thumb. Yes. Okay. There's a process of forgiveness that she has not engaged in. He's saying she's holding a lot of her suffering in that wrist. She still holds the suffering, the anger, the pain that brought it forth, that gave life to it. You must understand that all that you experience was given a life by either your creator or your own initiative. You have caused certain effects. To forgive the pain, to forgive the anger, to restore love to this is the simplest solution. She has become so habituated now with judging her pain, with attacking that part that calls her forth to offer it love. Would you extend a kick to the head of a child that called you forth for help? No, you would not. Why would you attack the pain that calls you forth to extend your love to it? Extend your love to that pain and you will be delighted. Extend your love to your pain and you will be delighted in its response to you. Love's responses from the world are very different than the responses of anger and frustration. If you offer your fear to the world, you will not get back love. If you offer your love to the world, you will get back love. You may think in this context that your body is a healing device as much as the world around you is a healing device. In that, would you attack that which is in pain, or would you heal it? Would you extend your love or offer vinegar? Wow. Thank you. That's crazy. Thank you so much. Question from Anthony. What affirmation or mantra could I repeat to assist with shifting my perception from separateness to oneness? He says the very first one you can consider is the statement that you must imbue with the sincerity of its meaning, which is I am. This statement, which has no separateness to it, which brings about an intention and clarity that both subject and object are not separate. I am. I am. Cool. I like that. Thank you. That's really simple. I am. Question from Rudy. Did someone hug and kiss my head? Yes. They're saying yes in the car. I get that it was a female. Yes. The kiss. She's female. And this is not a guardian angel. This is someone who loves you dearly. Are they in form? Or are they out of the body? They're not in the body at that moment. Yes. Yeah. Savor. I'm being told to tell you to savor the moment of the kiss, and you will know the truth of this. Savor the moment of the kiss, and you will know this and who it is. Yes. She loves you very deeply still. There is no other feeling but love towards you. She says that it was really grateful that you had that moment, that she could connect to you. Again, I don't know who this is, but the energy of this being is very vibrant and young. And they are in, at that moment, they were not in this world. They were literally in another realm, but were able to bridge because of the nature of their emotion towards you. You could feel their interaction with you. That's a really key thing. When you're not in a body, you can utilize energy in the form of emotion to interact with matter from the perspective of an astral position in consciousness. But no, this is someone who's been with you for a great portion of a number of lifetimes and will remain with you as I'm feeling the word guardian with you for the rest of this lifetime. They're waiting for you. But there is no hurry. Remember the kiss, the moment of that kiss, and you'll know. But she's very strong female. I like her. She's really cool. Thank you so much. Yes, that is true, Juan Gemma. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, I want to say thank you for your time today. Uh, as I said, I had a couple of announcements to make for the rest of this week. So on Friday, I hope you're going to join me with Archangel Raphael, and he wants to discuss the concept of healed healers. Um, when he first brought this to me, he said, people do not understand that in the process of extending love, even when you're in pain, you'll actually heal yourself. In the process of extending love, even when you're in pain, you will heal yourself as well as those that you extend the love to. And he's going to get into a really incredible discussion on healed healers and what that actually means. He's saying many of those of you that are in this process of ascension, of moving your consciousness back to love, are these that are healed healers. One does not need to be completely whole in order to heal, but one must understand the nature of the process so that they can articulate a deliberate movement towards that wholeness that is always true in the nature of understanding. And then on Supernatural Saturday, we're doing a meditation called, I was told to call it At One-ment, but they said it's really the word atonement, at one-ment. And it's a meditation for bringing about a unification of your separation into a unified whole, to allow body, mind, emotion, and perception to be unified in a frequency of love. And that is the atonement, is becoming back to a state of at one-ment, in unity with the source. That is what we all are part of, at one-ment. And that will be the meditation on Saturday. I hope you'll join me for those two coming events this week. I want to say thank you. If you want to support this channel, please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. We try to get to questions. If you want to support this channel, go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. And again, use life as an opportunity to restore yourself to love. Remember, there's so much going on in the world that wants you to be in fear, and it's really there to give you the opportunity to choose to be in a vibrational state of love. And the way, yes, he wants me to say, the way you will approach that which would cause you to fear when you are in a state of love is very different than when you are not. Let love guide your thoughts and your words and your actions, and bear witness to the miracle of its healing touch. Wow. Thank you so much. Have yourselves a wonderful, joyful day, and I will see you on Friday at 10 a.m. Much love, everybody. Bye for now.